Confession. I'm Jamaican, but I'm enjoying the compa right now. Anyways, people, boom, welcome back to the... No. Try again. I'm confused right now. I live in Florida. I don't know whether it's going to rain. It's going to be, cold. It's probably going to be hot. Anyway, boom, welcome back to the TV of the big people. You understand? Big TV. Listen, it's been a minute. I've been avoiding it, but I've been getting threatened. So here we go again. Hood nature.
Brown back lad, weird fuck, animal video.
Make we get to another video now, man.
You know, I never did explain this. Alright, so basically every whip-tailed lizard alive is female. All the males got real life canceled. To reproduce, they kind of just clone themselves by developing an embryo without the help of a male. One of the few animals that never need a gender reveal because it's always going to be a girl. But there's a catch. To trigger ovulation and egg production, one female will mount another and then pretend to be a guy for about 30 seconds, or however long that kind of thing takes. Which is why scientists call them lesbian lizards. But there's one more catch. The lizard has extra chromosomes. That means that the daughter that comes out technically isn't a perfect clone of her mother. It's a bunch of boring sciencey stuff that you definitely don't care about, but basically when your parents collabed and created you, a cell's chromosomes got copied and then that cell got divided twice, resulting in 4 haploid cells that each have half the DNA of the original. But you have 2 parents, and this lesbian lizard always only has 1. So this lizard starts off with twice as many chromosomes, that way it ends up with a full set. Which is why this lizard has no use for men. Moral of this video, if women ever figure this out, we might be... Actually, we wouldn't be, and that would be the problem. And one more thing, koalas are lesbians, so yeah, that is a fact. So researchers were studying koalas in captivity, as one does, and it turned out female koalas would reject the advances of males in their enclosure and then go and get physical with other females. Not like literally, right after dumping the male, they would go and hook...
I didn't even read the title. Why these lizards and koalas are lesbian and wombats twerk their enemies to... What?
Go with the closest female. Sometimes multiple females would mount each other at the same time. In fact, researchers specifically mentioned one time where 5 koalas got involved. No etiquette, no rules, just a raging homosexual free-for-all. Scientists studying this said that for every traditional male-female pairing, there are another 3 couples engaging in gay koala coitus. And you're probably wondering why I even know so much about this.
Yo, ma!
Researchers, while koalas brought into captivity, clearly displayed homosexual behavior, but it was only the females that swung both ways. But there might be a reason. Female koalas have signs when they're in heat and ready to mate. Males can't recognize those signs, so when one shoots his shot, it usually involves scratching, clawing, and a lot of screaming. Sometimes the heat koala will knock his crush out of the tree as he tries to convince her. Since koala dating looks more like a cage fight, it's possible some females would rather focus their hormones on another female, which would explain the rampant gay koala orgies. Female koalas are two-way players, and you're just gonna have to be okay with that. Australia has an animal that twerks its enemies to death, and not nearly enough people talk about it. Y'all know the furry fire hydrant, the wombat. Of course you do. First of all, they're bigger than society wants to tell you, and the biggest ones can weigh almost 80 pounds. And number 2, its only defense is that its ass is reinforced with cartilage and muscle. Not even kidding, this is the type of time they're on. So when a predator like a fox chases a wombat, the wombat will run to its burrow and dive into the tunnel ass first like a stripper. If the predator manages to force its head into the burrow, this plush bowling ball will use its backside to crush its head against the roof of the tunnel. Yep, that's right, death by twerking. They'll also throw in a few donkey kicks to the face to really hammer home the point that they are not to be pooped with. Oh, and also they can charge you backwards with that armored ass and take both your ACLs. They're so ridiculous that if you hit one with your car, the wombat will die. And probably take your car with it. Because they're built like walking mini fridges with a low center of gravity, wombats can act as a launching ramp that can send your car off the ground with you in it. Basically, you're looking at a live-action Ewok that can fade your ass in more ways than one. Moral of this video, your chances of getting twerked to death by a wombat may be low, but they will never be 0. This animal's a lot weirder than you think. Meet the Thier, aka the Okapi, aka the reason Kevin Hart was late to work. Even though it looks like a horse-appropriating zebra culture, it's actually the only living relative of the giraffe. They actually have a lot in common. They both have horns called ossicones, basically used to flex for girls. They both spread their legs to get a drink, although giraffes do it because they're tall, okapis do it because that's just who they are. And like the giraffe, the okapi has a long, dark 14-inch prehensile tongue that they use to grab leaves. They also use it as a built-in Q-tip to clean their ears. This Klondike horse is the giraffe's little cousin, but they're not little, they weigh over 700 pounds. If you're ever in the jungles of the Congo, there's an easy way to know if one's around. Okapis have scent glands on their feet that produces a sticky tar that they mark their territory with. Follow the tar and you'll find the animal that used to be called the African unicorn. That's because they were so weird looking and so painfully shy that early Europeans thought they were a mythical creature, until they were officially sighted and documented in 1902. And I don't blame them, because this honestly looks like animal casserole made from a bunch of stuff left over. And for a cousin of the giraffe, they're pretty short. If you're above the height of 5 feet, you're taller than most of them. No factor, just a baby okapi. A photocopy, if you will. They're the national animal of the Democratic Republic of Congo, but you can also find them in the Bronx, San Diego, Denver, Dallas, Houston, and a bunch of other zoos. And if you're a 5'3", apparently on the side of the road on the way to work. Animals that make me disregard my crippling fear of the ocean and anything in it. This is a sea bunny. It's a Doric nudibranch. Basically a sea slug that looks like a cotton ball. It's covered in papillae, which not only helps it feel around, but also makes it look like a fluffy ocean rabbit. Those rabbit ears are actually rhinopores that help it detect chemicals in the water, and it is aggressively adorable. The sea pig, it's actually a deep sea cucumber from the Elastopoda order. They breathe from their anus and they're built to live in the deep sea, so...
Yo! Whoa! Dog, what? Never! Type of foolishness this man talk about.
If you ever try to bring one out of its safe space, it will literally fall apart. They're also poisonous to eat, but come on. You can't tell me they're not cute. I mean, you could, but then your mother would have raised a f***ing liar. And now we have the Ascidians, aka the tunicates, aka the sea squirts, aka Finding Nemo would make it Tim Burton. They're invertebrate filter feeders found all over the world. Some of them can swim freely, but most of them just attach themselves to a rock and call it life. Also, they're called sea squirts because if you take them out of the sea, they'll squirt. And I don't know what it is about them, but yes. Also, it would be a first-degree offense if I didn't mention the skeleton panda sea squirt. I am 99% sure this is Photoshop, but that 1% is what got me out of bed this morning, so... Here we are. 5 things I guarantee you didn't know about gorillas. The sound of them beating their chests is something no words can possibly ever prepare you for. This 300 to 400 pound live action Donkey Kong is afraid of insects like caterpillars and reptiles, especially chameleons. Baby gorillas will play with almost anything but hit the brakes immediately the moment they see this. Same dude y'all thought could do something with Godzilla gets sent packing by his minion. Now ain't that a bit? On top of that, gorillas hate water and they really hate rain. If a troop of gorillas gets caught in a storm, they'll just sit motionless and wait for the rain to pass. If there's a cave or some shelter nearby, they'll go ahead and hide in it too. Which is weird because gorillas will walk through swamps and babies will play in water, but rain is where they draw the line. Gorillas bite as hard as grizzlies and twice as hard as lions. A motivated grizzly bear has a bite force of about 1,100 pounds per square inch. Freaks say that's enough to crush a bowling ball. But gorillas have a bite force of 1,300 pounds per square inch. Who y'all call the king of the jungle is literally half as strong, checking in at 650. That mouth helps them crush 40 pounds of vegetation every day. To digest it all, gorillas have a massive amount of bacteria in their gut, which also means gorillas are almost always constantly farting. No, but like seriously, they don't stop. If there's a family of gorillas nearby, best believe you're gonna smell them way before you see them. That's 5 facts you didn't know about gorillas. Comment what animal you want next.
Ah, copyright.
Me have couple, I'm a friend. A top scam, a grab card. What make you think we got side?